Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are going to be hopping right into Marine King Prime versus Liquid Hero, coming up literally in, basically now. Again, first map is going to be on Ohana. It will be a best of 5, and all the matchups that we're going to be looking at in the round of 16 are different matchups. Starting off with the Protoss versus Terran, then going on to the MC versus Violet, Protoss versus Zerg, then the Gosu user MVP, Zerg versus Terran, wrapping up with the Life versus Lenok, Zerg versus Zerg. So I am thrilled that this is actually going to occur, Kalaris.
Yes, very much so, very much so. This Mkp versus Hero, going to be darn good, but we still have massive amounts of good games on the way. All best of 5 in the round of 16. And then, I believe, is the second best of round of 16 tomorrow with Kaldor and Wolf?
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes, that is correct. Dr. Kalaris, now, excuse me. You know, I wanted to ask you a little bit about some of the Warp Prismness that we've been seeing pop up slightly more and more and more in the Protoss versus Terran matchup, where, you know, ordinarily we would see the Protoss be on strict defense for the first, 20 minutes of the game, given how aggressive a lot of players are. However, the Warp Prism has seemed to be this really nice tool to bypass all that. We've been seeing, the 10-minute Warp Prisms, and even later on. What are your thoughts on how it's sort of changing the matchup?
I'm personally a big fan of the Warp Prism harassment when it comes to just purely zealot harassment in mineral lines and drawing, because Terrans are always wanting to be ridiculously aggressive in the mid game. It's pretty much the way you play this matchup versus the Protoss. And otherwise, you just get run over going into the game. And for people like Hero, they take advantage of the fact that the Terran's army is always in the middle of the map dancing around by saying, well, it's your base with a little Warp Prism and exploit you whilst you're not there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like one of those things that we saw just in that Heart of the Swarm show match, where all the Marine Marauder tank from Supernova was right outside the front of 4GG's base. And as a result, all the counterattacks work. Same thing that we're seeing with the Warp Prism. And oh my gosh, Kalaris, the game is on. Kalaris, please introduce those players.
Shall indeed, good sirs. We do have spawning down to our bottom right-hand corner as our red Protoss. He goes by the name of Liquid Hero.
And up in the top left, one of the most famous and popular StarCraft 2 players, period, Marine King Prime, looking Marine King fine.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. He always does look fine. And, I met him at Home Story Cup, and his glasses are pretty darn impressive. Have you seen those things?
Those things could, be used as a murder weapon. I could beat a small dog to death with those glasses.
You actually could. They're pretty chunky. You're not telling a lie at all. They're impressive. One of my friends said that she just had to wear them. She couldn't let it go. She just had to wear them.
She put it on and it crushed right through the bridge of her nose.
Only the strength of Marine King Prime can bear the weight of those glasses.
Yeah, I mean, he has such a powerful nose. Let's see if it can sniff out the strategy of Liquid Hero in this match. Wow. Did that happen? This is real life. Now, Hero is starting off with the gateway in the main base. Nothing too surprising there. Marine King Prime spawning as Marine Pink Prime. Looks like he is going to be going for Command Center first.
Yep, not too bad an option. But at the same time, we weren't really expecting that from Marine King Prime. We were expecting some kind of balls-to-the-wall aggression from him. And so for now, he's just going to set himself up nicely for a macro game. And this might end up throwing Hero off. It's the less intuitive method.
What? Liquid Hero? He's chrono boosting out a zealot. Did he? What? I mean, this is like I looked at your match history and saw you going Command Center first. So I am going to blind double chrono boost out a zealot. Here comes zealot number 2. I mean, that's weird to do just one zealot and then halt, but weird he be. It looks like Hero is going to be going for a chrono-boosted one zealot expand. What the what?
You're right. That's so strange. But no, he's going to try and make it work, as that one zealot is on the way. The 2 barracks are going down for Marine King Prime, but there might not be that many Marines out to deal with this, and one Zealot is surprisingly annoying to kite, even just with 2 Marines or so.
Yeah, well, the thing that Marine King Prime is doing in this game is something he's done just so many times is a huge error. He's not positioning his buildings to deal with these cheeses. You can have yourself set up a somewhat small contain at the front, but there it looks like, ooh, just with a few seconds to spare, man, just to get that SCV away.
And that was quite annoying there for Liquid Hero, just slightly missing out on that second. But thankfully for Marine King Prime, he can deal with that a little bit more easier than he would have been able to do before. All he needs to do is keep kiting with this Marine until a few more come out, and he starts a 3rd barracks as well, realizing there's the potential for his opponent to actually get even more aggressive, but he's just expanding behind this.
So fortunately for MKP, Hero did not go for the double chrono boosted Zealot, followed by a Stalker, which would have been pretty much devastating. But there is a little bit of delay with a still double Zealot, single Stalker after the expand. So MKP, I do think, is going to need to start constructing himself a bunker. Otherwise, he can't really make full use of that expansion. He's going to have to just stay pulled back a little bit. But Marine King is being very, very bold, getting the early double refinery, the early 3rd barracks, all this skipping the bunker.
Ooh. And actually, Hero's going for a Twilight Council here. So could he... I mean, looking at the positioning of this pylon and all the buildings, is he going to go DTs or something like that? Yeah. I mean, he's not going to have a massive amount of gas because he hasn't taken, more gas than is natural or anything, but still, it could be a plan. Could be a plan.
It definitely is looking very DT-ish to me. I mean, technically you can do something where you go for the speed upgrade for the... Zealots. Slightly more likely would be as if he went for Blink and then went for a very, very swift bust up into the main. But still, Dark Templar makes more sense on just a single gateway at this point.
Yeah, it's just... again, every time I see the building positioning like this, I'm always thinking DTs. But it doesn't make any sense to just instantly think DTs, because hiding tech's pretty cool, right? So, regardless of what you're doing with it. So... yeah, but, it is the DT Shrine. There you go. It's on the way. And, unless Marine King is going to be taking good precautions with missile turrets and stuff like that. And it also is another counterintuitive point of, if you are macroing properly with mules, then you have less defense against DTs, which kind of sucks for a very good player.
Yeah. Marine King Prime needs to do some Marine King scrying with his magic ball to find out if that is going to be a Dark Shrine tech. And yes, I am going to be doing that all cast long, Kilaris.
Jeez.
You'll be Marine King dying of laughter by the end. So MKP is going for the Swift Starport. The tech has just been incredibly, incredibly quick. Generally 8:45. 8:30 to 8:45 is where we'll see the big decision. Does he go for another command center, or does he go for 2 more racks? That'll be a real defining feature in the early game. But MKP can actually start it as early as now, just building those 2 extra barracks.
One thing that I've seen on this map that has shut DTs completely down is getting this wall up at the natural to deny the DTs from even walking on in. But I don't think Marine King Prime is going to have those last 1 or 2 supply depots up in time. And with that, the first 2 DTs are warping in. This could get sticky.
Uh-oh. MKP, what's his energy at 36 and 45? Is going to have enough for 1 scan. Smart spreading. Amazing answer time from MKP. There's 1 scan, and it... oh, no!
Uh-oh.
Oh, the DT is alive. He didn't have concussive shell.
And then he died off. Oh, just 1 last shot as the scan was fading out. 1 Marauder comes along, pokes him with a concussive shell, and kills him off. And right now, Liquid Hero still sat around in the front with some units, but he doesn't really have anything. He has 2 Zealots, 2 Stalkers, and a Warp Prism to try and deny this huge onslaught of bio moving across the map. Hero is in a world of trouble, potentially.
Oh my gosh. Hero. He's looking quite dead.
Yeah.
I was trying to find a pun, but instead I just said he's going to be dead soon. Hero actually desperately building the extra photon cannons. We have 2 sentries up. Those force fields are going to need to go down very now. And he whiffs it. Still doesn't want to do that risk of trying to step up onto that high ground. There's the scouting factory, getting some good vision. DT's heading up into the main, taking out the missile turret. No, the missile turret's fine. Look at that missile turret.
They're trying, but it's not going to work out too well. Still, the force fields need to go down once again here for Hero, unless go up. Yes, he goes up. He stins up. There's a little bit of a hole, actually, letting everything up. So much deep.
Wow.
Destroying everything. That one Immortal is going to have a sorry story to tell.
Oh, gosh. Marine King Prime with the perfect DT answer. Just rolling up through the front, and my God, Marine King Prime played standard, had good judgment, good answer timing, and I don't think there's any way Hero's going to be holding this one off. This stings for Hero.
Just too many units here. There you go. GG for game number 1 as Liquid Hero. Wow. Taken out very, very handily by Marine King Prime after, hey, it was Hero the one that wanted to pull the little bit of shenaniganry.
Yeah, and again, I think that game 1 is like a real decider for how the series is going to pan out, because MKP, we've seen, have so much trouble in this matchup as of late. His variety is essentially just fodder for solid Protosses, and there we saw him play solid himself, defend against the early Chrono Zealot, which made me go nerd crazy, and then just won with a really nice defense and a really nice push.
Yeah, that's a very, very solid style from Marine King Prime. You're right. So that's going to do it for game number 1. There really isn't much more to say other than what we've already said during the cast. DTs didn't work, and he didn't have any units behind it. So we're going to be going on to game number 2 in just a bit, I believe.
Yeah, let's go ahead and step away to a brief break, so that way when we come back, we can bring you as quickly as possible game 2 on Cloud Kingdom between MKP and Liquid Hero. Much to the surprise of many who are watching right now, Liquid Hero did not win game number 1 despite opening up Chrono Zealot versus Command Center first. But Marine King Prime's looking very solid defensively.
Yep, very, very true. It's going to be interesting to see how Hero is going to play out game number 2 here, and we'll be loading up onto Cloud Kingdom in just a second to see what the Hero has in response to game number 1. Probably not DTs again going on into a mid-game.
Yeah.
You just don't really have that many units out when you try and go for that.
Yeah, and I think Cloud Kingdom is a really interesting map for variety for both players. Of course, in the opening, we talked about how the Reaper opening is its most popular home is on Cloud Kingdom.
Yep.
Also, Blink Stalker plays very popular here to be able to control the space. Turtle focused plays going for the double forge. The Warp Prism counter also popular. From the Terran side of things, though, most of the time we do see the very standard early expand, emphasizing the faster third base. However, MKP has been known to favor 5 barracks of aggression before he takes his third base.
Yeah, that's very true. It's a Terran like Marine King can exploit those little aggressive moves early on, and Hero is, well, again, he's really well defensively set normally when he has units to actually defend with. So there's such conflicting styles here because Hero can exploit with aggression, and it's really hard to call now. After seeing that first game, I was thinking Hero all the way, but now I'm not so sure.
Well, game number 2 is going to get started in about 5 seconds. So if you are a fan of Liquid Hero, please tweet at him. If you're a fan of MKP, please tweet at him as well. And include the Iron Squid Gaming Twitter name, Dinger, in there. Who do you think will win? Let us know. Up in the top right corner, the man down 0-1, much to our surprise and much to Protoss players' chagrin. It is Liquid Hero.
And spawning down to our bottom left-hand corner, 1 game up currently in the pink color, or maybe even the blue color. No, he's pink. He goes by the name of Mr. Marine King Prime.
You know, I will say this is, I think, one of my favorite maps to see the PvT matchup on. There's a lot of solid defense set up at the start. A lot of people feel... It's weird. They feel comfort defending as a Protoss against a Terran on 2 bases. And yet Terran still has a big opportunity to deal drop damage on that left ridge of Hero's base, to swing around to the backside to hit the natural.
Yep.
So it's really cool, just the defense from the 2 and 3 base standpoint from Protoss. But then, of course, in the mid game, there's just so much movement that can go on. It's really incredible to see the way the players manage the middle.
And I like the way that you mentioned the fact that, you know, most Protoss players feel comfortable on 2 base with Blink, because Marine King Prime is one of those players, rightly said, that can actually exploit, especially on this map with that ledge on the left-hand side. I'm reiterating this point because I've seen time and time again Marine King Prime break people that have felt so comfortable in that situation. So Hero has to watch a single angle of his base.
Marine King Prime's doing the same thing again. Command center first, it gets instantly spotted by Hero, who will very likely chrono probably not 1 but 2 zealots out.
And interestingly, I mean, Hero did not end up scouting in the first game, but did this game. So he's keeping himself very, very wary of what Marine King Prime is up to 1 game down here. And that's so important to do against a player as tricky as Marine King.
And Hero's hungry. He wants that 5 hit point SCV. He wants it so bad. Ring around the command center. Can he get it?
That 1 SCV was actually trying to repair it, but then the probe kind of pushed it out of the way on the pathing and tries to get back to it, but no, it does not before it starts repairing. And meanwhile, elsewhere, is he going to lose this probe as well? I think
no, and he loses it. Oh my god. I think everyone's been there where you see that 5 hit point SCV and you're like, I'll just go for just 5 more seconds and I'll do it.
So true. So true. It's such a temptation to actually try and kill it off, but then you end up losing your own probe and you're like, god damn it, now I've got to send out another scouting probe potentially, or send out another probe that I was going to use to put a pylon down elsewhere. So it's an annoying situation, but Hero has probably been in that situation many a time and can play out of it quite safely.
Yeah. And I like the fact that Marine King Prime is doing something that is very old school. He's tessellating his barracks, because a barracks with an add-on is actually tessellatable. So it's going to just produce a very cute and beautiful looking base. Hero chrono boosting out Stalker 1, set himself up nicely. And the big question in my eyes is what he's going to be doing with those gas geysers. If he throws down all four of them around 6 minutes, then it's probably going to be robo-focused play with sort of defensive bent to it. But if he goes for just one or two more instead of getting all remaining three, then it's